Okay, perfect. Thank you. So the idea is that this is an open, fun, and hopefully fun and safe space where we can share some thoughts and ideas about the future. So most of it is actually going to be all the participants here writing ideas, thinking together. But we do want to offer some of our insights as a working group, and they will be talking in different parts of the presentation, so you'll get to know them. As you know, that Let's Connect is organized by community members and the foundation as a operated program. So we want to give voice to all the people who have been working behind the scenes with this program and be able to share some of the thoughts that they've had of how this can look in the future and some of the things that we've learned. And I want to say something about the culture of these spaces that's really important. And I'm bringing in some of Let's Connect participants' own words here, that this has been a program that is in its pilot phase, it's starting, but that people feel that they can come together and learn in a really comfortable and safe environment. Because here we're all learners, we can all learn something from each other, no matter how long we've been in the movement or what skills we may have. And most of all, they're flexible spaces. They're spaces where we come here to have fun. And that's the spirit that we always want to have in our meetings. And in that light, we want to do just a quick check-in to see how people are feeling. And I will hand it over to Dora to do this. And you can introduce yourself, Dora.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Yes, perfect. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Dora, and I am a junior program officer in the foundation, and I'm part of the working group of Let's Connect. We are so happy and thrilled that you are here today, and I'm sure that we've already communicated with a lot of people here. So the first game that we're going to start our beautiful session with is the emoji game. So we're going to create a poll right now, and you're going to see in front of you, Jessica is sharing right now, how do you feel for the moment? And please be kind, be free to say what do you feel. And just let's wait for 1 second so Jess can share with us. But for the moment, the emojis, the available emojis right now are either I am very tired, and we can understand that as it's Friday. I'm happy to be here and just want to share with my colleagues what I think. I feel a bit shy, don't know if I should speak. I'm new and not quite sure what Let's Connect is about, or I'm not sure how I feel, just I'm glad it's Friday. So please vote about what you think. Can you? Okay, perfect.
Dora, so the poll's closed if you want to just see how people are feeling. Have we lost Dora?
I'm sorry, I'm muted and I'm talking. Yes. So let me share. Okay, can you share your screen? Just can you show the poll, or should I do it?
I think it should be up on the screen.
Yes. Yes, so we have 17% of people saying that they are tired. And then there are 2% of people saying that I'm happy here, just want to share with my colleagues. I bet because it's Friday, right? And then 33%, which is the higher number, is I feel a bit shy, don't know if I should speak here yet. You will, guys, don't worry about it. That's what we're like trying to do here. And then 22% of people are saying that I'm new, not quite sure about what Let's Connect. We will know about that in a bit. And then there are like around like 17% saying that they're not sure how they feel. They are just glad it's glad it's Friday. So thank you guys for like playing this with us. We just wanted to know, how do you feel? Okay, perfect.
Jessica, sorry, you are muted.
Okay, and this one we can do just quickly in the chat. We have a theory that we have a divided group between beaches or mountains. So if you had an ideal getaway or holiday, would it be a beach or in a mountain? You can share your response in the chat. Team mountains. Oh, we're saying, see, it's divided. Our hypothesis was right. No, you have to choose. You can't say just both. Oh, beaches may be winning. We're going to have to see if somebody can count the numbers there. Okay, so given that several of you said that you don't know what Let's Connect is, we're going to very quickly present what some of the things we've been doing in the pilot and some of those learnings that we've had, which will probably give you an idea of what Let's Connect is. But we are also going to make sure that you get some material, an orientation video that we have so you know all the details of how the program works. So Let's Connect, it's a peer learning program. And the idea, as I said, is that they're flexible spaces for learning. They're open. It's for any Wikimedian that is part of an organized group. That doesn't mean that it necessarily has to be a recognized affiliate. It can be a group of community members. But the idea is that what we share and learn here can be used and shared with wider communities. And so it's not only an individual participation, it's to participate as groups, as affiliates, as user groups. And the idea is that we can learn from each other. We can learn from our colleagues, peers, but more than just learn skills, it's about human connections. It's about just knowing if you like beaches or mountains, knowing how you're feeling today, knowing what are some of the difficulties you may be going through in your community or in your life, and how can we support each other. And this has a lot to do with movement strategy, right? Movement strategy is we want to grow as a movement, we want to be more inclusive, we want to be more diverse, but we want to be here to have fun, to feel that we're part of a movement and make this free knowledge open to everybody. How does the program work? So we have in this pilot phase, in the future, we can think of many other different ways of connecting, but we wanted to experiment with two types of learning spaces. So one are learning clinics where we have like workshops where we come together to learn around topics that may be of interest to many people. And these workshops also have some resources that we can share. The coffees and teas are a space where we can connect maybe in smaller groups. So one-on-one connections with somebody who maybe has some skills that I want to learn. And I can also share some skills that I have. The important thing here is that we're meeting each other in smaller groups, so we have some more time to learn from each other's work. And to support this, we've built an information system, which I will show you a little bit about how it works, which is the skills directory. We also have a space where we share resources that come from these spaces. So like videos, documentation, any material that is being shared, we put it onto our page on Meta. And we also seek to connect people who are within the program to other learning spaces that are happening in the movement. Let's Connect is just one little piece of many other things that affiliates are doing, the foundation may be doing, community members are doing. So these may be workshops. The Volunteer Supporters Network has done a series of workshops that Let's Connect participants have been invited to participate in. So we're always trying to find what other people in the movement are doing so that you can have the information to know what is happening in these different spaces. So these are some of the key results that we've had in the pilot phase. And what we are trying to evaluate is not so much the numbers, but really, did these spaces make sense? Were the tools useful? Did the communities feel like they own this and that they can multiply this in their communities? Is the support that we are offering as a foundation that is part of this program in terms of resources, in terms of connecting people, is that useful or is that not useful? So that's why this session is so important, because we want to hear from you, and that's part of our learning from observation and from listening. I would like to hand it over spontaneously to one of our team members, Douglas, if you can just tell us a little bit about the working group and some of the learnings that we've had from it. Douglas? Oh, I think Douglas might have a connectivity issue. So just let me know when you're back, Douglas. So we have, as I mentioned, a working group that's leading this. On the call today, we have Douglas, Justice, Anthony, Florencia, who's part of Wikimedia Argentina, who has been donating some of her time to this program. And some things that we've learned is really the need to expand this group to be representative as well of different communities and regions, that this group works very hard, but we need to also give them leadership in how the program is being managed, and also how affiliates can be more involved in this working group as well. Florencia, for example, works within Wikimedia Argentina, and her support has been very important because she connects this work to what the affiliate is doing. And that is something that we would like to explore more in the future. Who is participating today in Let's Connect? We've had a big level of enthusiasm, especially from the Middle East and Africa region, other regions, especially Northwestern Europe, United States, Central and Eastern Asia, Europe and Central Asia, less so. So we have an opportunity to see how we can work with affiliates and groups there, especially in countries where communities are growing or emerging. Here you can click into the skills directory to see all the different participants from each one of the countries. But something that we're learning is that we're getting many diverse participants with different levels of skills. Some of them come in because they've been to an event organized by a user group in their context, or they've been part of a campaign, and they're interested in learning more about the movement, but they don't really know what is the different paths and trainings that are available and how they can contribute. Is it just editing, or can they become organizers? And sometimes in this program, it's difficult to respond to those different levels of needs. And peer connections can help to make people curious about everything that's happening in the movement, but we also need to complement this with more clear paths of how people can be trained in different skills and how to connect them to the user groups that are in their context, or to communities that may not be part of those user groups or affiliates, but that can help them in those training paths. So we see that when in a workshop, a learning clinic, lots of people come with different expectations. It can be quite difficult to meet all those expectations and really train them in all the skills that they wish to learn, or skills that they don't know about yet, but they become exposed to. And for this, we need to work more closely with affiliates as well, and the learning paths that they are developing for different people in their context. The skills directory has been a really interesting experiment on Meta, where we have everybody who registers immediately has a page, a profile page for Let's Connect, where they have information about how to connect with them, what is the type of skills that they want to learn, what type of skills do they want to share with others. But as we've identified, Meta is a bit difficult in terms of a tool that is accessible for people. We really do need tools like what the Capacity Exchange is developing, and maybe Nikki can talk a bit more about that. But we also need to make sure that if other tools are connecting people, that we can come in and support that connection. We can see if people need resources, translation, follow up on those connections, so that it's not just about having the information, but also the support system to be able to connect. We've also identified that incentives are important, even things like badges to recognize when people have acted as important learners or sharers in different spaces, or they've been really good at giving us feedback. So you all have, who have participated actively, badges, and we think that this type of incentive and recognition is important. But we have felt that people don't have like ownership of their profiles. So differently from your user pages where you edit and you write and you engage, these profiles have been more created by the working group, and that there needs to be more engagement with them until we find a better tool like the Capacity Exchange to be able to do this. Bukola got featured. Yes, you did, because they're one of our super learners and sharers, and thank you for all of those. And this work is a recognition more of many of the people on the call, not the working group. It's been you as participants that have done all this. Just a few learnings from the learning clinics. As I said, these are like the online workshops that we developed. We had about 11 of them in the last 4 months of piloting, with 15 different sharers. Some of them were affiliates, some of them were outside the movement, and people, experts in different areas that came in to share around different topics: proposal writing, planning, your organizational plan, storytelling. Most people who have given feedback through surveys have found them very positive. But as I said, many of you feel that one clinic is not enough. We need deeper learning, and we need to know where we can find these different training programs or resources. Connectivity is a big limitation. We had people come in and out of sessions and they can't fully engage, although we have recorded the sessions for learning afterwards. It's not the same as being in the session, and we haven't found a way to resolve the support that is needed for people to connect. We've tried through user groups to be able to fund that connection. Some of you have applied for rapid grants to be able to support participants, but all of that has been a bit slow. And until we start finding solutions and sustainable solutions for connectivity, that's always going to be a factor that's going to act as a barrier. And it's been a little bit frustrating for us not to be able to fully have resolved this issue during the sessions. And I just want to give a round of applause, if those of you who can open your mic and actually give a physical round of applause to all of those who have been sharers, who have, when I say they're sharers, is that we just helped them put the session together, that they have put the material, they've shared their knowledge, they've organized the workshop. So Anna, Carlo, Isaac, Shola, Ayla, everybody who has been a sharer, a round of applause to you, and I will give it. If anybody wants to open their mics to also give their round of applause live, I think that would be wonderful. Okay, we have virtual applauses. Thank you for those virtual applauses. Just a few reflections about the one-on-one connections. These have been really interesting because people have given us feedback that it wasn't like your usual talk show or somebody presenting. It was about really learning about each other's context and give personalized support. What we have learned is that making those connections weren't easy. Like we don't have the right tools to make those connections. So we're doing a lot of it on an Excel sheet with a lot of work, but also we're trying to gather a lot of information to make sure that people are connecting who want to like really align in the skills that they want to share and learn. But maybe those procedures are a bit, take a long time. We get lost in the system. We need to find easier ways to connect people. But also for people to be more proactive in that connecting. So the skills directory is there, but not many people are asking for the connections and using the form to connect. They're waiting for us to connect people for them. So it's interesting to see why aren't people so proactive if it's not understanding why that is, how it works, or because you just don't have the time. And that would be an important learning for us to share here. And these are some of the skills that people are most interested in learning about and sharing. So building organizational plans, working on specific wiki skills like Wikimedia tools, learning and evaluation. People really want to have better tools to learn about their work and seeing if they have impact. And there's a lot of interest not only in the qualitative tools like doing focus group surveys, but also about better tools to measure success in campaign, to measure participants, the quality of the contents that are developed. Also about communications. How do we engage better in social media? How are we telling our stories better? And then the big issue is how to better manage volunteers and develop those interpersonal skills that are really important for a safe environment in our movement. And talking about the universal code of conduct and bringing in newcomers and being inclusive, we need to develop those interpersonal skills. So that's what you've been most interested in learning about. And that's it for the presentation. I just wanted to share what the team has reflected on with the data that we have that you've provided us through surveys, through some of the conversations that we've had one-on-one. So thank you, and we can now start the discussion. I am going to link in this Jamboard. Whilst I do that, I would like to open the floor for Douglas or Dora or Florencia or Justice to say a few words.
Thank you, Jessica. I think that Douglas has his hand up. So Douglas, if you want to say something, go ahead.
Yeah, so thank you, Jessica. Thanks everyone for joining this session. I was actually enjoying the presentation by Jessica. I didn't want her to stop, but I would ideally like to add a few comments to the lessons from the Let's Connect program. So my name is Sebagaya Douglas. I'm from the Wikimedia Community User Group in Uganda, and I'm a member of the Let's Connect working group. Some of the lessons that we've had from this program, I can just highlight a few. Most of them have been mentioned by Jessica, is that like Wikimedians really didn't know each other. So Let's Connect was like a bridge to connect Wikimedians within the different geographies. Like we had some that have just joined over the years, especially during and after the COVID-19 pandemic, and those were new Wikimedians. So they didn't know members within their different geographies, but Let's Connect was able to connect them through the different connections that we made, the one-on-one connections that Jessica had just explained. So that was one key lesson. The other lesson was on the impact. So over time, we've been able to get more interest from members that wanted to join the Let's Connect program. Remember, initially there was a form that was sent out through the Wikimedia communication channels on DIF, but then consequently, we realized that there was more interest for more Wikimedians to join the program. So there's a need to involve more people, and we've been able to have an increase of numbers of Wikimedians that are interested in joining the Let's Connect program. Then the other point is on resources. Like there has been a sort of underutilization of resources within the movement. As we know, the community resources team provides grants and funding to different affiliates, but then sometimes the communities are not aware about the existence of this. So the Let's Connect program has been able to create a bridge between how Wikimedians or affiliates can efficiently utilize the resources that are provided from the community resources team. And we've seen different affiliates having the ability to support Wikimedians in their different areas that didn't know that there was funding or resources that are provided by the foundation. Then also on learning and evaluation, we've realized there's expanded knowledge within the movement, knowledge that goes beyond wiki editing, whereby we look at skills that are not only wiki related, but also off wiki knowledge in terms of or in areas of research like qualitative and quantitative analysis, volunteer management, and we've seen new knowledge being developed by Wikimedians on how they can apply this knowledge onto content that is related to Wikimedia projects. Then lastly, like there was really a need for this call for participants to connect, and some of the interactions that we've had through the connections and the learning clinics, most participants requested to have a joint meeting like this one to connect with all members that are involved in the Let's Connect program, to network and also share. So this is kind of a public demand, and I'm very glad that we've had this call. Thank you so much, and over to you, Jessica and Florencia.
Yeah, I think I'm going to hand it over to Florencia so she can facilitate the second bit. I think given the time and we really want to hear people, maybe we can just use the Jamboard so people can write, but we can also talk at the same time if people want to answer or reflect on some of the questions we have there. So I'll share my screen and over to you, Florencia.
Great, thank you, Jessica. Hi, everyone. My name is Florencia. I work for Wikimedia Argentina, and I'm also part of the working group, so I'm really glad to see you all here. As Jessica said, the idea today is to know your feelings and your ideas about how Let's Connect has been working until now. So we ask you to go in the Jamboard that Jessica has already shared on the chat, but I will share it again if someone didn't access. There we have like two different questions or ideas that we want to talk about. The first one is to know what was your favorite moment of Let's Connect, if you have participated on a clinic or on a one-to-one connection, or in another kind of space of Let's Connect, and that to know what is your favorite moment, if something has worked well and you want to share a bit of what worked well for you. And then we have a second page where you can say what you would like to be done in the future and how you think that this can be done. So we have like those two moments to discuss. If you want, as we said before, you can start filling the Jamboard with your ideas, but if also want to open their mic and share something, everyone is really welcome, because the idea is to have a little conversation. So we wait for you the way you want to participate. Please tell us if everyone can get inside the Jamboard, okay? we can see some people already inside the Jamboard. If you need help on how to use it, please tell us also. You can add like a little note, and there you can write if you like. I don't know, Jessica, maybe we can share it if someone needs help on how to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Also, you can sometimes on the phone it's difficult to use the Jamboard. You can just write your comment on the chat. You can write it publicly or send us a private message, or you can raise your hand, open your mic, and say what you feel. So to add a sticky note, you can you're seeing my screen, right? Yeah, so you just go here, sticky notes, and then you can write. And that's it.
Great. So we'll just take a few moments. There are some answers starting there. Hi, Anna, don't worry. And hi, everyone that is just joining right now.
Okay.
We are starting to share about the ideas and feelings of this phase of Let's Connect. So if you want to add something, here you have the Jamboard link.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, so we have a lot of answers. If you want, I can read some of them, but it will be really nice if someone wants to open the mic and tell us about something that is written there or anything else you want to add. Here they say that working with Dora was amazing. Yes, I'm really, I'm really in that that stick because she's a really, really great work in the team. So thank you, Dora, for everything you have done until now. We have here, the sharer was able to teach me about a tool and it helped me organize making partnerships. So there is really interesting that the information on the clinics was useful. They also say that the request for participants to meet virtually with each other was okay. There were learnings about the tracking tool that was really helpful. Meeting people who are willing to share, that is really a good thing about Let's Connect. We have the learnings on the communities from their experience, a lot of learnings and information. Someone wants to open the mic and tell more about these learnings? Sukanta, I don't know if you are trying to say something. I wasn't hearing okay, but if you want, go ahead, please. I see a hand up. Mohammed, go ahead, just unmute and tell us.
Okay, thank you so much. And I must say this is a very excellent idea, bringing us all together on this particular platform to have these discussions. Actually, let's connect. In general, it's a laudable idea, and I was so much interested in that. And some of my, by the way, my username is Al Hassan Mohammed Awal. I'm the communications manager for Dagbana Wikimedia's user group. It's a language user group based in Tamale, Ghana. I was particularly excited when I saw a number of our community members showing interest in this particular project. And then the opportunity for members to apply for rapid grants or maybe seek support from their affiliate communities to facilitate their activities was something that was very exciting to me because in most parts of in our part of the region, our challenge is often how it's about the resources. Sometimes you would want to come together and do something, and maybe constrained with resources in terms of what is going to be used to support your activities is often a very big problem for us. So you have the ideas, you want to do this, but how to come together and do those things are often challenging. And so this was a very good opportunity for us to meet and then discuss about Wikimedia stuff. Even though we couldn't seek for any funding support, but we are hoping that in going forward, we want to do a lot of activities with this Let's Connect program, where we want to engage with people who are often in areas that are hard to reach, and they are often interested in taking part in Wikipedia activities, but are not getting the opportunity. So we want to take it down to them, and then meet for us to discuss as to how they can also contribute to Wikimedia and then the Wikimedia Foundation, Wikimedia movement activities. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mohammed, for sharing. Really, the funding, and it's always an issue, and it's really interesting that you had learned in Let's Connect participation, and that you are eager to ask for rapid grants or for any other funds. So really, thank you for sharing this. Musa is with his hand up, so go ahead.
Hello, good day to you all. Thank you for having this session, for holding this session, Dora and Jessica. I hope you can hear me. Yeah, I want to share my experiences. Of all, I am really glad and happy for this whole Let's Connect program because it create an avenue whereby people will come together and we teach ourselves. We share ideas. You ask people what they know, they tell you. I have an experience with I've been to several workshops in Let's Connect whereby I've learned a lot. I've been taught a lot. I also have the privilege of sharing my experience with other participants of Let's Connect. So it's a very wonderful idea. I really like the idea. And also, I am very glad and very happy with Let's Connect. And I'm very happy to announce that just yesterday we would sign we signed the agreements for our grants in the Hausa community. We are able to sign the agreement just yesterday after some internal challenges, but with the help of Jessica and the foundation and the grant admins team, we are able to resolve all the issue, and we already signed the agreement yesterday. So it was a very happy moment for all of us. And I also like to acknowledge and really thank the whole idea of Let's Connect, because now what's really happened is our community members that are already registered in Let's Connect. We already have an WhatsApp group now already. We already have a WhatsApp group in our community where we talk regularly. And what I plan that we will be doing when we receive the funds for the Let's Connect activity is everybody in the community, everybody that is registered in Let's Connect. First of all, we'll be dealing with the already registered members, because we are having a lot of people are even asking me of how they can register. I've been sharing links, the Let's Connect registration link to many people. But now we are limited to the people that they are already registered in the program. What we plan to do is now, after we already had our skill directory profile. What we have to do is everyone will in that particular WhatsApp group, everyone will come and he will update his profile in that particular WhatsApp group that this is what he want to learn and this is what he want to share. So whenever there is a program, whenever in each and every week, everyone will come and tell us that this is what he want to share this week and this is what he want to learn. So when you do that, then you go to the skill directory, the general skill directory in the meta page. You look at the person that said that he will share what you want to learn. When you do that, you can either talk to me for me to help you connect with that person, or maybe you talk to that person directly, or maybe you request buy a coffee with that person so that person you guys will get in touch and have a session. What we plan to do is each and every week, each and every member of our community will have something doing. It's either he being the sharer, or maybe he been requesting for somebody to teach or to help him with what he want to learn. So that's what we've been planning since the first stage of the grant, and that's what we've been doing, and that's why we've been talking constantly in the WhatsApp group for the program of Let's Connect activities. It's a very wonderful activities, and we are hoping to bring a lot of people, because a lot of people have been asking about Let's Connect and they wanted to join because they had a lot of things that they wanted to learn. A lot of people in our community wanted to learn a lot more, especially in part of learning. They wanted to learn a lot of things in the whole movement. Thank you.
Great, Musa. Thank you for all your sharing. We have Adel also who wants to share. I think he's going to talk in Arabic, so we will have English translation. So if someone needs to move, just click on the interpretation, please.
شكرا لكم. أبدأ. شكرا لك أنس على الترجمة. شكرا لكم لإتاحتكم لنا الفرصة أن نتكلم بالعربية. أقدم نفسي أولا. أنا عادل نحاوة، إداري في ويكيبيديا العربي وويكي مصدر. أعمل حاليا مع مجموعة من الناشطين من أجل التعريف بمشاريع ويكيبيديا. فقد قمنا بعدة ورشات، ولكن هذه الورشات نواجه فيها صعوبات تنظيمية، فوددنا أن نشارك مع الأقران نجاحاتنا وإخفاقاتنا، ونريد أن نتعلم أكثر من هذا المشروع لجعل نشاطاتنا أكثر فعالية. فاقترحت لمجموعتنا أن ننضم إلى Let's Connect لتكون وسيلة لمساعدتنا في جعل نشاط هالباس وتجعل نشاطاتنا أكثر فعالية. فحاليا نحن نقوم بمحاولات ولكن دون أن نستطيع أن نجعلها أكثر فعالية دوما يعني. وشكرا.
Thank you, Adele, for your sharing. Great. It's really good that you're trying to participate in Let's Connect. So really welcome. I think we have also Saddam, and then we can move to the second part of the sharings. But Saddam, if you want to open your mic, go ahead.
Hello, good morning, good evening, everyone. Hello. Hi.
Hi, we can hear you. Okay.
Oh, okay, thank you. My name is Saddam from Hausa Wikipedia user group. I want to talk about what Umar said. We say we open WhatsApp group for that connect Hausa Wikipedia, but I like to add me in the group. Thank you.
Okay, Saddam, can you hear me?
Yes.
Are you not in the group already?
Yes, I'm not inside group.
Okay, I will add you. I will look for your number and add you. Don't worry. Thank you for that.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you, Saddam, and thank you, Musa. Great if you are adding him to the Telegram group. So, well, thank you everyone for sharing. Moving on with what can be done in the future. We have a lot of also ideas that have been put on the Jamboard. Let me just zoom them because I have a lot of problems with reading this really small writing. So some of the ideas are that maybe we are having difficulties with the time zones, and this is really difficult when we connect. That it's something that happens to a lot of persons. We know that we are in a global movement, so it's really good to take this in notice because it's still a challenge to make learning clinics and one-to-one encounters in times that are really useful for every one of us. Then there was something about the Telegram group also. Here we have it, that it's hard to keep on track. Maybe it will be helpful to put a banner or announcement in the Let's Connect pages when there are new information. That is something we can still work on. Also, we have connecting with the skill development infrastructure, like something that we will have to work on. There were some posts about funding opportunities. Here, for example, funding opportunities can also be posted on the grants page, and maybe to design a new grant program like microfunding, which would require lesser amount of grants and processing. So, well, we have a lot of diverse ideas about also funding and grants for what's next. I don't know if someone wants to say something about this specifically, or Jessica, if you want to.
No, I'd like to hear from participants. Thanks.
So anyone who wants to share another idea of what could be done in the future? We have a lot of things to work on also on the Jamboard, but if someone wants to say something, go ahead.
I think there's an interesting thing there, Florencia, under the question of how you can help build this. And somebody said, I want to share, but I'm not a good live speaker, and finding other ways to share. It could be through a blog or pre-recorded. I think that's a really important comment. I just wanted to highlight that one.
Yes, sure. We know that maybe talking, it's difficult. We also are all listening and talking in a really diverse languages. So it's really something we have to work on. So thank you to add this like as a comment. We have some more comments here. I can help by sharing my experiences with media across the globe. That will be really useful. The best clinics and one-to-one connections are the ones that are led by Wikimedians. So we are really eager to have you, everyone, sharing what they feel they can share to others. So that will be really useful. I'm sorry, I can't read the French and Arabic post because I don't know how to read those languages, but if someone can read them, please go ahead, or maybe we can translate them also.
Maybe Dora can help us.
Great, thank you, Anna. So we have someone that offers to editing and wiki related with online workshops. Great. Okay, so if anyone want to share something, want to open the mic, please go ahead.
Also opening up to anybody who may not be a direct participant, but Anna, who's been part of like brainstorming this, Nikki, Rosie, also have been kind of behind the scenes helping us in the initial stage. So happy to hear from you too. Florence, I think Adele and Rosie have raised their hand.
Oh, yes. I think Adele had it before, but Rosie, if you want to talk, go ahead.
Thanks for that. So I think much of this kind of training that we're interested in and learnings that we're interested in is happening already. It's been happening for years. But the problem is letting people know who is doing it, when they're doing it, what language they're doing it in, and being able to offer that same, I'll call it training, again and again on Monday at 9 a.m. UTC, at Fridays at 4 p.m. and so on and so forth, so that the broader community can say, okay, I can't come on this day, but this looks pretty good. I can probably come then. What I see as a problem is not only that people don't know what's happening and when it's happening, is that often, mostly, if it's done by affiliates, it's branded. I'll give you an example. So Wikimedia District of Columbia, on a routine basis, does training sessions with different kind of partners in the Washington, D.C. region, open to any Wikimedian who wants to attend. Mostly no one knows about it except those who are on the mailing list for Wikimedia DC. But if they did, if we had a way of promoting it, then other people from other regions of the world who are able to understand English in this particular case might enjoy coming to the session and learning something. And since this is repeated, that same training is repeated over and over and over again, and sometimes customized. Today, there'll be more about Wikimedia Commons. Today, it'll be more about Wikidata. Today, it'll be more about editing Wikipedia. If this was somehow in a catalog where people could see it, where they could see that once a month, the University of Edinburgh in Scotland also does this kind of training. And I say once a month, it might be even more often than once a month. They do their own kind of training, again, various topics, Wikidata, Wikicommons, and so forth. I just think that this is just one example or two, Scotland, Washington, D.C., but I know it occurs in other languages. And that if we could just share this on a central place of who's doing what and when, and be able to offer it over and over and over again, I think people would take advantage of it if they just knew that it existed. I certainly know people that I would recommend, hey, take a look, it's available on this day at this time and on this day at this time, because I deal with so many women who contact me and say, hi, my name is Jane Doe. I represent a group of 5,000 women in occupation XYZ who are professors at University ABC. We see that we are not well represented in Wikipedia. Our photos aren't showing up in articles about us. How do we learn about editing Wikipedia, uploading images? What's Wikidata? I've heard about it, but what is it? And how do I get my spreadsheet uploaded in there? So these are some observations I've had from personal experience dealing with people. And I wonder if there's a way we could have Let's Connect help us with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosie, for your comments. I think it's also Nikki with the hand up. If you want to add something, Nikki, go ahead.
Thank you. First of all, I want to say how impressed I am with all the work you guys have been doing and with the wonderful group here you have assembled, and people. It's just so heartwarming to see people want to support each other in the movement. Thank you for that. I was thinking maybe as a sort of a next stage or another thing we could add to our growing capacity building infrastructure. I think that would be very impactful if we could somehow support more longer term relationships between people. So what you have started with is these clinics and then the one-on-one conversations. But I'm also wondering, you know, after a training or after a one-on-one conversation or after a clinic, somebody goes back to their environment and tries to implement something and then encounters all kinds of barriers and hurdles. And so I think that's the moment when capacity building, so when learning turns into capacity building, is when we can follow up and support people. And I continue to believe that that can be very well done by peers. So if we can do something, and that can be peers like two people, or it can also be organizational peers. Like my organization could take on a mentorship or of another organization and just, you know, accompany them on their growth path for a longer period of time, you know, years, because it doesn't growing a movement and growing organizations just takes so much time and patience and deeply trusted relationships. So I'm wondering if I'm just throwing out this thought that, this was a great start, and I think you should continue it. And then we should think about how we can build on building longer lasting peer relationships. And I'm happy to contribute to that. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki, for your reflection. I will pass it to Jessica. I know we have like only a few minutes, so if you want to close.
Yeah, no, I'd just like to say all these reflections at the end are really important, because I think there's some things that we can think about within the program, but I think this connects to a lot of the wider issues of how we bring in a kind of capacity building framework and how this is part of it. And so I'm really hopeful that Let's Connect and what we're learning and building with all this 140 people can help feed into that wider conversation. And I'm so glad that that was brought up, or Rosie and Nikki and everybody else who commented about the future. And like I said, I also feel like sometimes it's such a small initiative and we're trying to do a lot. And so really reflecting about like, what's the best way of doing that little bit that we're doing. So it leaves us a lot of thoughts. So the next step here is that we are going to take these reflections and others that you've given us in conversations we've had one-on-one. We're going to write a report out, which we hope will help us think about, what does this mean for the next phase of the program. But we'd like this to be really built in a participatory way. So we hope that by putting it on Meta, we can get a lot of community input of people who are not participating today, but would like to be part of this, to see what this means in terms of organization, working group, governance, who participates, how can this be community-led and supported by the foundation, but led by communities. So there's a lot of conversation that needs to continue after this, but I'm very excited about the future. And I would like to just hand it over to Cassia to maybe say a few words, and then Justice, our last working group member, is going to close with some of his Ghanaian energy.
Thanks, Jessica, and thanks to the working group. I just really wanted to, one, thank and appreciate all of the work that has gone in. It really has been amazing to see the connection between the working group, Jessica, the wider community, the amount of involvement, engagement, and building learning. As I think everybody has said, there's so much happening across the movement, and it's really about how we're able to make those connections and linkages, because it will take many, many different strategies and approaches long term. And most importantly, as Jessica has noted, human connection and people feeling safe to do that. So thank you all very, very much. This has been a really, really interesting session for me, but also just a really great program. So I will lead it, hand it over.
Oh no, I think we might have lost Justice right at this end. He was there waiting.
No, I'm here.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I think thank everybody for coming to today's session. As you've all heard and seen, share some of our reflections and our learning. We as a working group and with the support from the foundation will be reporting on this learning, and then we'll plan our next steps. Hopefully, the next steps will be much more broader and much more participatory for everybody involved. And we want you all to start sharing, bring up ideas of clinics, workshops, and let's support you all in making sure that we have like an interesting section moving forward in the next phase of Let's Connect. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Justice and everybody. Oh, Mohammed, we have maybe David on call and he will be able to answer that question if he's still around. If not, I will send information on the group of the next round for rapid funds. Sukanta, you raised your hand. Did you want to say something as people are leaving? Sorry, we closed the meeting before you were able to speak. Thank you, Sukanta. Nice to see you again. Thank you very much to Anas and Francesc as well for your wonderful interpretation. You're also part of this community and sharers. So thank you so much. Francesc has been a one-on-one sharer and done a lot of work with those connections. So thank you. Rashina, did you want to say something as people are leaving? Rashina? Maybe some hands are going up.
Join. Hello, can you hear me?
We can, yeah. We're just saying goodbye.
Can you participants join?
Join the program.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me? I said, can you participants join?
Let's Connect. Yeah, at any time it's open, but we're at a phase where we're collecting learning to think about what's going to happen in the next months. So we haven't got that many activities going on at the moment, but they can register if they want, so they can get information about opportunities in the program and get their profiles on the Meta Skills Directory.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Great work.
Thanks, Rashina. Bye, Florencia. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Okay, I'm gonna close now. Did you want to say something?